AIWTV, 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 AIWTV.
Whenever you have a free time, just through email, or maybe just have some special group for particular class. And also for these learning programs, if you are in another country and student in another country, so there's no barrier for this matter. And also for the next slide will be the benefits of internet in the
Internet and its impact on Muslims. Let's hear some opinion from IIUM students for the first question. How do people in your country use internet on Islamic purpose?
My country actually use internet especially for an Islamic purpose, looking for article which can benefit them, especially in studies. It's not just looking for Islamic people, not just maybe to get information about Islamic countries or Islamic sources, Islamic teachings. That's important way.
In my country is Vietnam, so we had a little bit difficult to know about the Islamic knowledge. So the people, for the Muslim, they seeking for the knowledge on the internet, and they also can buy the internet. They can check the information, check in the website for Islamic, and the list of website, for example, like the Webwager at Mecca and Medina University or somewhere else.
Because of the thing that the internet is something still unknown in our country, so it is in process, and for Islamic purpose usually we do use the internet, as I said, for educational purposes, teaching children in primary and secondary schools and so on.
I think not much users they are using net for Islamic purposes, but also there is still, alhamdulillah, some of people are using it, like they are using Islam Online website and Islam Way website, which these websites are rich of Islamic knowledge and teachings.
Okay, well, the Islamic site it is spread in everywhere in the world. So in my country we use some Islamic sites like islaminfo.info or islamweb.com. So these sites are in wide range in my country. So many people, they used to serve these sites.
And now some suggestions on how Muslims can make use or take advantage of using internet.
Muslims have to use the internet for their own good purpose, especially in their own reason, because internet is something like you cannot stop with something like globalization, which may have good and also bad impact. So Muslims should know the reason why they use internet, especially in good purpose.
Some Muslim or some people, they use internet in the bad way. For the whole non-Muslim country or non-Muslim people, they will think that the Muslim is the terrorists. For example, like the cause of 911 or Al-Qaeda. So why don't Muslims use the internet is the ways of the purpose? We can use internet to access our information, are we seeking for the profit. To do internet is the advantage our lives, and just avoid from the bad thing is also like a bid'ah.
Of course, I'm one of those men who likes to say that we have to use everything. It doesn't matter from where it is coming, whether from Western or East countries. So it doesn't matter. We can use the internet for a lot of purposes for us. For example, educational purposes, for developing teaching, for the purpose of dawah, writing books, and so on.
Okay.
Well, of course, the advantages of using internet are not limited. So, for example, we can make an Islamic chatting or Islamic surfing. For example, Islamic chatting, we can open Islamic rooms, especially to discuss an Islamic issues. So, some people might say how to create an Islamic rooms. Of course, we can discuss an Islamic matters, Islamic issues in any way. And some people might ask how, for example, some people will say something idiot during writing or not. Of course, this can be controlled. Can we just eradicate that person who just wants to write or want to make things not that clear. So this is one issue. We can make Islamic chatting, and another issue that we can create Islamic site like Google to make like Islamic search, so people can get some benefits of that.
It's my wishes and hopes that Muslims can make forums and special forums for them to discuss their issues critically, and they can do something for our ummah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Last but not least, suggestions from teacher to students on how Muslim students can make use or take advantage of using internet.
So I have only two main points here, which actually come from one big point, that is building relationship. So the first one is instead of, at your age, okay, I'm sure you want to have friends from different gender. So instead of meeting face to face, which is not so good, a Muslim should, keep in touch, but through the chat room or send emails. That's number one. Number two, you strengthen your silaturahim with your parents and your family members, especially if you are studying overseas, because if you make a phone call, then it might cost a lot, and if you send a mail, a letter, it might take a longer time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for watching. I'm Isma-ael AIWTV.